Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
I'm not sure anymore just how it happened before. The places that I knew were sunny and blue. I can feel it deep inside this black nigga's pride. I have no fear when I say, and I say it every day.
Every nigga is a star. Every nigga is a star. Who can deny that you and I and every nigga is a star? Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha 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 ha.
Poor nigga.
Whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Take it, XD.
Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha. Whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha.
A Black History Month for that ass.
Piriana. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It is Jaden XD. Happy New Year to all of our folks in the Negro diaspora.
Yeah.
That is very specific. Let's see if we can get through just at least 1 week of harmony. I just want every one of us to remember that every nigga is a star.
Ooh.
Every nigga is a star.
I wanna amend those lyrics.
Yeah, it's
Some of you niggas are stars.
Some
And
fraction
some of you
you are
niggas
stars.
are from Mars.
That's the truth. Oh, MGZ. But yes, welcome back, y'all. Happy Negro History Month. We made it a whole year.
Yeah, we did.
We got through the 31-day trial period of January of 2024. Not sure if I'm fucking with it or not, but we'll press on.
I'm not. It's an election year, and we know who's on the ballot, and I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah. But how was your week? How are you? How are you feeling in this new Negro year?
Disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted every day at our government.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted every day that oppressed people continue to be oppressed. And I just be wondering what kind of white witch y'all pray to, because this is nuts. This is motherfucking nuts. But outside of that, I'm feeling niggery. What did I do this week? What did I do? We did a birthday dinner for Tristan with a bunch of loved ones. So that was a good time at my homeboy's restaurant. If you are anywhere in the Brooklyn area, make sure, and you want a good Jamaican meal, you know what I'm saying? all across the board, go to Stella's. Stella's in Brooklyn on Ninth Street and 5th Avenue in Park Slope. Stella's. My homeboy Dwayne owns it, Arizona. And both of them are just we worked with them at the grill and two of my absolute favorites. And so the food is good, including the macaroni. Mac and cheese. It's mac and cheese. It's not macaroni pie.
And not macaroni pie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good because macaroni pie is not good. I'm not going to front. I don't even have anything colorful to say about it. It's just not good.
It's not. And I don't want to hear your 2 cents about it or how your auntie is the one. Like, I don't give a fuck, so just save it.
Yeah. Right.
Macaroni pie is just not good, okay? Y'all got oxtail. Granted, southern oxtail is also delicious, but y'all got oxtail, y'all got curry goat, y'all got jerk chicken, y'all got all kinds of things. You got ackee and sawfish. You got all kinds of things. You do not have that, and that is okay.
Yeah. And that's okay. That just lets me know that the French didn't have enough time to colonize. So that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like
the hate stops somewhere. The hate you give.
It's just macaroni pie. Is just leave. It
just ain't it.
If you like it, you love it, but it's just not for your girl.
Yeah. And if your auntie Stacey Ann makes an amazing macaroni pie, then y'all need to enjoy that in the privacy of your family's home, not in Jaden XD's comments.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, because you should know us by now. Like,
you should know us by. If you don't know us by now,
y'all. Most of y'all been with us for 10 years, so you should know. Like, hey.
Just like the nigga asked me, what's that on your microphone, Jade? It's lit, nigga. God damn, nigga, you don't have nothing else to focus on? We having a whole fucking conversation, and you're focused on the lit on my fucking microphone cover.
Well, they got you because you changed it.
No, I didn't. I just had to go diligently with a pair of tweezers. Next time, I'm gonna mail it to one of you niggas to pick the fucking lid off. That's what I'm gonna do.
And so, a toast to you, Stimpy, and this lovely meal of meatloaf.
Yeah, I picked it that you shaved me, nigga, but still. It was a tedious project that I generally don't have time for. That's why you have one less video on Patreon this week. You're welcome for the nigga who asked if there's homework this week. I had to pick my lit, which took a fucking hour away from your recording schedule. I'm done.
Yeah. That is funny. My week was spent on the sick and shut-in list.
Oh man.
I know. I discovered, unfortunately, that after all these years that I am allergic to like penicillin.
Oh, you and my dad.
That
nigga swells up like the elephant man. It's crazy.
I developed it later in life. I've always, like as a kid, I had strep throat a lot because I had large tonsils. And so they give you amoxicillin. And of course, it makes you uncomfortable, whatever. But it's not something I could easily get through. So I've talked about all the dental work, and I have dental implants put in, and so they started it, and so they do to prevent infection or whatever. So I'm like, amoxicillin, oh, that's no tea. Okay, I got this shit or whatever. That was the day after we recorded last week. When I tell you I was in the bed, like throwing up my entire internal organs.
Yikes.
Like, it's bad. It was very bad. And so I had to go back. I had to go like to Kaiser. It was a whole big thing. And they were just like, stop taking it. And clearly you have an allergy to this. So I was like, that's so interesting that you could develop some shit later on in life that you had no, you know what I mean?
It's one of my greatest fears.
And then it makes me like nervous. Like, Well, I hope I don't develop a food allergy.
Hello.
Because it's like, it's bad enough. Like, of course, your mouth itches when you eat pineapple, but that's not something I get over. But like, if like, I would be like devastated, distraught if I had like a peanut allergy or something.
Oh my God.
Or like shellfish.
Oh my God. Oh no. Just right there.
Yeah.
My homeboy developed a sesame allergy, like in his 40s. So he can't eat hummus now. No tahini.
That's like, I can't eat chia seeds. They make my tongue swell.
What?
It's strange. I know.
Hold on. Great source, ancestors, guides, everybody in between. Thank you for allowing me to never, ever, ever develop a food allergy in this physical life. Ashe, amen, and let it be. Ameen, inshallah.
I am so like, it just made me nervous of like, oh nigga. There's a lot of things that, people of course talk about like, nobody prepares you to get older and all the things that they don't tell you. But this is one of the things that I don't think anybody could ever really consider. Like,
okay,
bitch, your body changes and it could be a whole new bitch. And you'd be like, I don't even know who the fuck I am anymore. Allergic to what?
Speaking of which, because I don't want to talk about food allergies no more. It's scaring me. But another thing that scared me. So I was talking to my mom. And so my grandma's 88. She just turned 88.
Happy birthday!
Amen.
January 9th. Okay, that's my girl. So
not her and Blue Ivy got the same birthday. Literally.
Oh shit, do they? Look at that.
A beacon of light all around.
And so is my grandma.
Yeah.
So 88, you know what I'm saying? Mama's living. And she's on her way to a cruise. So so my aunt was gonna take her. I know.
Yeah.
She was gonna take her and her okay. Let me just give you a little backstory. So my mom has 6 brothers and 1 sister. My aunt was married to one of my uncles for like 20, 25 years. And then they got divorced. You already know. So
black family.
Yeah, they both got remarried, So
she's still a part of the family.
Oh, like indubitably. It's like more than him, maybe. I don't know. Like she's never gonna not be our aunt. She's never not gonna not be my mom's sister. She's never gonna not be my grandma's daughter. And so my grandma's best friend is her mom. So my aunt and uncle like grew up together as well. So that's up. So it's my grandma's best friend Pearl, and then my auntie that's Pearl's mom. So my auntie is going to take. It is so cute because my aunt's the husband she has now. I think she's had for like 10 years, but I've never met him. He refers to my grandma as my aunt's mother-in-law. He'll be like, yeah, we're gonna take my wife and my mother-in-law and my mother-in-law, and they would be like, wait, no, he'll say my wife's mother-in-law and my mother-in-law, and they're like, wait, the grandma's the baby. And he's like, no, like even he gets it. He's like, y'all, that will always be family. So they had grown kids when they got divorced. So anyway, she's taking them on a cruise in like 2 days, and they had to leave out of Florida. So my mom calls me, can you can you fly to Ohio and then fly your grandmother to Florida and then you just fly back home? I was like, yeah, like sure, but when? She was like, Monday. I was like, girl, no. Like, how you gonna call me and ask me to do this shit in like a day and a half? So my mom ends up being able to do it or whatever. So she's sending pictures. But she calls me and my sister. And she's like, she's like, your grandmother, we've got to get her like a pedicure, like an extreme pedicure. Like you've got to go to work on Myra's feet. Mm-hmm. And she's like, because she can't lotion her feet anymore. And so I was like, oh yeah, her mobility does. She's 88. She's like, yes. She's like, make sure you all are stretching now. And I was like, oh, you know what? which that's already on the list. Like I already try to stretch as much as possible, but I didn't even think about it from the vantage point of me not being able to lotion my feet. And so, we just did the Love After Lockup, and y'all, I had on the baby peel feet thing on my feet the whole time we were recording. But the mere thought of me not being able to get down and moisturize my heels frightens me in a way that most things don't. And so,
Yeah. Like, my grandmother had that issue, just general. And my grandmother already had back issues. She, when my grandmother was pregnant with my mother, she slipped and fell on ice. And so she ruptured a couple of discs in her neck and her back. And and it fucked up like sciatica and stuff. So she had rods placed in her back at very young, by the time they were able to do that type of surgery, it was like 20 years past when my mother was able to,
Yikes.
So my grandmother always struggled with like putting socks on and like lotioning and stuff like that. So I remember she had bought, I feel like once you reach a certain age, like old people just get these random ass catalogs in the mail.
Yeah, I don't know how they know.
Like, catalogs of like old people shit. Like, and they had like a device that like, it looked like a cane, but like it had like a thing in the thing at the bottom and it helped you like moisturize the legs and the feet and helped you put on your socks like for circulation, things like that. And I'm like, that's crazy. And she always used it because of the fact that, she couldn't bend down all the time. And she would always remind us, she'd be like, make sure you stay young and spry while you can, because you might not be able to put on your socks like you thought you would. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Like my grandma uses like the extended the shoehorn to put but she uses that. She be trying to slather lotion on her feet like butter with that thing. It's like when my grandpa was alive, he was a big man, so when he really want to reach for something, but he didn't really want to get up or reach for it, he used to take his back scratcher and click, 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 trying to get whatever it was.
Booty on her. I ain't getting up. Shit.
Boots. But we got to. Oh, we're not going to be able to lotion our feet. So,
yeah.
Just a little tidbit for you all this week.
We got to stretch. We got to take 15 minutes out of your day. You could even stop this broadcast right now, press pause, do a little stretching routine.
Okay.
Mobility routine. It'll wake you up and energize you too, honestly.
Oh, stretching in the morning and before bed are just two of the best things for you, honestly.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Jay. I'm a physiotherapist and I help people with arthritis and joint pain. Today we're going to go through our morning routine. We're going to do a number of exercises.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like two of the best things. And swimming.
Yes, yes. Although not everybody has this access. What is up with above ground swimming? Have we had this full discussion about how much we hate above ground swimming pools?
We've had a lot of elitist conversations, so I'm not sure. I don't know if we've had
because I was watching House Hunters, and so there was this Trini couple who were moving from Miami to Rockland County, New York, and and so they were like, we need a pool for our son and daughter. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You have to keep in mind, you're not living in Florida anymore. You're living in New York where it snows. And so they made it a point that to get an above ground pool for their home. And I'm like, and mind you, they paid like $500,000 for their home. And I'm like, that's a lot of money, number one. And then that's a lot of money to be tacky with an above ground pool.
I'm conflicted, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the regular capitalist, nasty American in me looks at an above ground pool, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
the adult millennial American in me who has to pay for this cost of living is like, okay, I get it. You might want to just cool yourself off and you don't want to completely commit to a, $100,000, couple $100,000 in-ground situation.
Okay, then take a shower.
There's also that. You know what I'm saying? Use the hose, bitch.
I'd much rather you do that instead of if you go wastewater, get an in-ground pool. Don't waste water and have an above-ground pool. That's hustling backwards.
It is. The hydrant is actually better and classier.
Yeah, I just, and it's community. Not no damn above-ground pool.
And I feel like it might be cleaner because we're not all just soaking in the same. Trill?
Trill's butt isn't that?
She wasn't supposed to. No, I left. You've got to go.
Was there? Hey, Trill.
No, you've got to go.
Oh, my goodness. How long have you had Trill? 4 years now?
Yeah, 4 years now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got to close
a cat.
The door.
I think we need to revisit a pet conversation. I think a cat might work better for us than a dog.
Well, you are a cat, so I can see that.
Yeah, but let's take because I
know I have stuff to share with you too. So
Brenda sparked a huge debate in the house the other day.
And I want to talk some more about that. Okay. And I got something else I want to talk. Yeah, let's. Go subscribe to Patreon. It's where you get all the extra shit.
I do have an announcement. I do have
what
an
is it?
official
Go ahead.
announcement. So this week, I am on my friend Jiminika's podcast.
Yes.
Yes. And so it's really cool. We talk. Her podcast is about exploring different traumas within. And I know in January she's focused on, it was National Stalking Month. And so she interviewed somebody that was being stalked by a famous celebrity. It's a very high profile case.
Wait.
And
somebody regular is being stalked by a celebrity?
Yeah, it was she was a victim of a celebrity stalker. Let me say that.
Is this public information?
Yeah.
So who is it? Nigga?
Well, you got to tune in to go see.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So go listen. But
okay.
I'm on this week to kick off Black History Month. I talk about the time that I was briefly stalked when I first started YouTube and how XD came to be. And then we talk about some woo-woo shit. Because if you didn't know, and she's very public about it, Jimanika, her mother was murdered when she was an infant. And so we get into this conversation, and she happened to be present when her mother was murdered.
Wow.
As a baby. And so she talks about how she has, although she wasn't necessarily cognizant, but she has distinct memories of that day and moment.
Yeah.
And we were talking about spiritually about how maybe just because she was killed at such an early age, what connections do you have to her? And she was like, well, we talk all the time. And, we got into a really good discussion about, our loved ones and what happens when they go on. Because I was talking to her about how I smell my grandmother once a week, and I know she comes to visit me weekly. And,
oh, man.
Yeah, and it's a really good conversation. So go listen to that.
That's when I was in L.A. and my uncle passed. In his funeral, I couldn't make it physically, but I was on the Zoom. And so we were about to leave to go to the airport. And this raven kept visiting me the whole week that we were there. It's when we were filming the
show.
The variety show. So this raven kept visiting me, right? 4:30 every morning, it would be on the roof of the house next door. But when we have them castle-y roofs, so it's different sections of roof. It was on the part that was closest to the window of the room that I was in. And so this nigga would knock on the window, and I would get up to go pee, and then I would look, and he would be there. So then we're outside by the pool, me, Fran, and Crystal, and the raven flies above my head, lands on the other fence, looks at me and goes with his beak on the fence. So then, so Fran was like, "Oh my God," and Crystal was like, "Nope, because you woo bitches are not." She went back in the house. So that he came back that next morning, and then when we were leaving on the last day, which was the day of the funeral, and I'm on the funeral on my phone as we're like waiting for the Uber and stuff, and so as I'm there, Fran comes in, she taps me, and she was like, "Come outside," and I went out, and the raven is right there. And he looks at me, and then he flies off. That was it. It's always...
family members have a way of showing up in certain ways, and you never realize what type of medium they'll show up in. Like
Tabitha Brown said her mother leaves dimes for her everywhere, and she told the whole story about how her mother leaves dimes. It was actually beautiful. But you're right.
I smell white diamonds every Sunday on the couch. It's like she comes around. It's like she's hugging me. So it's like I know it's her. So yeah, go listen to Trauma Queen. And also, I have been working with the fabulous ladies of a newer podcast called Affirmative Blaction. And
okay, I like that.
Yes, Affirmative Action, Black Girl Bullshit. And they are relaunching. We are relaunching on February 9th.
Yes.
So I will put the link in the description so you can all follow and subscribe. Their first month is dedicated to all Negro History Month.
Yes.
Their very first episode is talking about their dangerous white neighbors and how you have to be on the watch for white neighbors.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I don't know anything about that.
Because they're New York, they're fellow New Yorkers, and so like and white neighbors in New York are quite interesting people, right? So please subscribe and follow them. It's going to be a good ride.
I had
the trailer's up right now.
I don't have no. I don't barely live around no white people. Think, gentrification.
I must say,
has come over here. Let's be clear. I be seeing them running, but there's not too many of them in my building. Maybe I've seen 2, and it's a big building. So I'm walking the other day, and I come down the stairwell to go out instead of going in the elevator. So the way I'm coming, I end up walking behind somebody who was walking down the hallway. And she turns around, it's a white woman. And of course I'm like, woo. And she's like, she's like, hello. And I was like, well, look at you speaking. Because they don't like to speak. See, they don't like to integrate themselves into our neighborhoods. And that's the problem. Outside of pricing people out, you don't come up in here and y'all don't want to integrate into the neighborhood. Use the local businesses. Don't come up in here trying to redo stuff like you're ghosts. You got to come in here and be like, all right, you know what? I am a guest in this community. Do you go up in people? You know what? Yes, y'all do. They do go up in people's house, open their refrigerator and stuff. But you don't do that in the neighborhood. You don't do that. Right. You go in and you be respectful. You speak to the people who are already there. You patronize the businesses that were already there, and be respectful.
Right. But yes, down on gentrification. But anywho, go listen to the Trauma Queen.
Yes.
Follow and go subscribe and follow Affirmative Blaction. You know the vibes, how we do at the end of this segment. Go support us. Link in the description wherever you're listening. Also pay attention to the description box because there might be a little secret message in there. Ha ha ha. Someone called me out on it on Instagram Live. They were like, you stopped putting the things in there. I was like, you know what? You're right. Thanks for keeping me accountable in 2024. And we also got a very lovely email. I kind of want to read that when we come back from break.
Okay.
Yes. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And the warnings could not have been more clear. The CDC said avoid crowded Halloween parties. Well, this bash, attended by some very familiar faces, is raising eyebrows, with many asking at what risk did they go? They're worried it could turn into a super spreader event.
Model Kendall Jenner dresses up as the sexy Pamela Anderson.
And we're black. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do, honey.
But I want to read this one letter before we get to the negativity of it all, right? I'm going to shout out to MB, as in, I don't know what, I'm just going to call you MB because that's how you signed it, right? Okay. They were like, sorry if you've already seen this already, but sometimes website forms don't work. They sent this in January. Oh, yeah, they definitely, or beginning of January.
Okay.
Hi, Jane and XD. Thank you for your podcast. You were number one in my 2023 Spotify Wrapped. You listened for 7,363 minutes. You're a top 2% fan. Ooh, that's good for you.
Thank you.
As I work my way through the catalog and listen to current episodes too. Side note, where does... I haven't said this in a long time. Where does What Was It come
What was it?
I can't even shout her out now because she's problematic. Goddamn
really?
So, yeah, they more Uncle Ruckus than I am. To the point where it's like violent.
Well, it was a YouTuber.
Yeah, Vine. I got it from Vine. What was it?
Yeah.
From Goddamn So. Anywho, maybe I haven't gotten to it yet. Maybe 2020 so far. Oh, okay. Ooh, you were in 2020. That's when we were in our bag because we were unsure if we were going to die or not.
Here you go. Sounded like a dramatic ass trainer the other day.
It's true.
But also,
we had the first episode was Ended the World, and it was a playlist.
I didn't realize how much I was spiraling.
Boots.
Woo.
So she goes on. They go on to say, "It occurred to me that you are both very kind people and not always nice. The real ones know the difference. And I wanted to take the time to thank you both for your time, humor, and perspectives." Okay. That's very true. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Jade, you are multi-talented, multifaceted, and true to yourself. Noah is a ray of sunlight wherever she makes a cameo. She is confident, self-assured, and has a strong sense of self. A true testament to you and Tristan's parenting. Perfection is not the goal, but guidance and support. May Noah's sunlight beam brightly and blind those who stand in her way. Mama has a mission, and she chose parents up for the task of shepherding her toward it. That's what I received that. I don't even have a kid, but I received that.
Okay. Oh God, what a compliment. Thank you.
I can't wait to experience your cooking. You make food sound so good, and I love that you pull from so many cultural influences. I love the Black Kitchen series and hope you get a season 3 if you want it.
Me too,
I learned
bitch.
so much. You highlighted so many gems in the Black culinary tradition and culture. You are meticulous about your craft, and I respect anyone who takes pride in their work and handles food with love and care. You can't just eat anybody's food. Your love of music, entertainment, and culture are some of the secret ingredients in your secret sauce.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah. XD, you are so thoughtful and compassionate. Okay. I guess I am. You are the voice and face people going through difficult times hope to hear and see. You are empathetic, and I hope you know how powerful that is, with boundaries, of course. I love that you have appreciation and respect for women. It comes across in the podcast through your references and sense of humor. I enjoy your creative mind and your different expressions, writing, fragrance, TEDx, and anything else I missed. Creativity can take many forms, and I'm glad you take chances. It helps other people build courage, too. You are both influential and more impactful than you know. I believe speaking Bokeem Woodbine's name brought him back into the collective consciousness and probably led to his appearance in Queen and Slim.
Thank you. Somebody knows.
Understands.
Because I said the same thing when I watched that terrible ass movie.
It's because of us. Nobody was thinking about this nigga.
Right. And we're always thinking about him.
I'm sure your podcast influenced so many creatives out here in some of the writing, music, art, and TV and film we've experienced. Yes, I told you, because Miss Pat, the writer, stole from me all the time.
Yeah, like blatantly. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The stars are aligning, and all the seeds you've sown over the years will reach a tipping point. Do not doubt yourselves or your effort. It's compounding in interest. I care for you both. And Abe, shout out to him. Abe.
Yes.
Sometimes there is criticism, but never forget the love and the many people who love you worldwide. I'm writing you from London. Your work on and off the mic is meaningful and appreciated. Best wishes and blessings. All love, MB. Oh, thank you so much.
That what I receive, we receive all of that. Your energy is apparent and it's beautiful, and we're grateful. And we're grateful for everybody.
We don't get that often. So
no,
that was nice.
They're like, we're not writing you hateful ass jackals.
Yeah. So y'all can get our nigga minds and our nigga thoughts.
No, that was really lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah. That was beautiful, and I received that. I know XZ receives it. I'm gonna share it with the family. That was really beautiful.
Yeah, and I hope one day we get to do a live show abroad. I
would love that.
I know that we have fans or listeners across the Glizzobe, and I hope we can bring this new thing that we're planning across the pond in the near future.
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Hooray.
Yeah. So let's see. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about. A lot of things happened that I know a lot of you are waiting for us to talk about. And normally we say, fuck y'all, and we never do anything that you ask us to do when it comes to pop
because we're
culture.
kind and not nice.
But today we'll do a little fan service, and we'll talk about, Cocaine Bear.
Which one?
The one that's not allowed to go to the park after a certain hour with her husband.
Hey, they got your mans. They got your mans on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with. Oh, yeah, sex offender. And he was your mans. He was your boy.
Yeah. So if you did not know, our good niece, Megan, released a song called Hiss. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of this snake aesthetic. I'm just not a fan of snakes
it's not
in
your
general. Thing? No. Like even on Survivor, I'm just like, nah.
Okay.
But I get it, whatever. So she released a song called Hiss. Have you heard it?
I have. I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's a
bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies.
Please me. Bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies. Say he fuck Megan and now he the topic. These niggas thinking they lowered the value. All this free promo, I'm turning to profit. Hate when a nigga be kissing and telling. Say he'll play up, but he in his feelings. Bet I won't give up the pussy again. Shit, I gave it to his friend. These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee.
That's the one I keep quoting. Bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies. How you posted up in another nigga hood.
In like another nigga hood like a bad bitch.
Basically, Megan, as the kids say, let the chopper spray on all of the naysayers from her incident with Tory Lanez and stuff. And I do want to pause it here because this is the perfect time. I know a lot of times people like, who's the white woman we could blame in this scenario? And I found one.
Oh.
Yeah. It's Kylie Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, none of this would have happened if this heifer would have followed COVID protocols and not have a party at her home. Niggas would have been at home in the house with safe, not
or
being
where?
at a
at
super
another
spreader.
Nigga's party.
Yeah, and not at a super spreader event. But here we are.
You know what? You're right. Didn't even make that chain link fence. Like that.
I had to find somebody who was to blame. And
I find like we can always trace back to them though.
Yeah, and I try to like give them I try to leave them out of it because they just they have their white and they have their own problems to deal with, and they keep trying to insert themselves here. But I'd still keep them at bay. But here is where I could physically say, "Oh, this was the source."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
but anyway,
agreed.
Megan says a lot of things in this song. Her first jab was a line where she talks about people are about Megan and they really need to worry about Megan's law.
Ha! When I tell you, that was
screamed.
Wonderful. That was delicious. It was everything I needed. So if you don't know what Megan's Law is a law that was put in place for sex offenders. Where they have to notify the folks about their whereabouts and where they live, so that we always got an eye on the problem. And so her being able to spin that into a lyric because Cocaine Bear 2.0 was losing her fucking mind, as she always is, and can't keep peace with anybody. She's like, all right, well, here we are. I'm just going to have to come for you, your nasty ass husband, whatever. Now, listen here. I've released this whole money situation with this lady. But you are a corny ass, goofy ass bitch to be standing behind and defending a fucking sex offender. And then all the people who want to come and be like, well, it was really like a 17-year-old and get the fuck out of here. It was an underage person, and any grown fucking person who takes advantage of an underage person physically because they have taken advantage of an underage person mentally, which means it's never really consensual. You get the fuck out of here. You're defending goofiness. You are defending trash. And for that lady to stand behind that nigga the way that she does, goofy time. Clown.
And actively choosing to marry, and even their own love story, DK, she was, if you listen to interviews on Korean radio, it seems to me that she too was underage when they first got together.
Oh, she knew him before she knew Mendices?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
whatever his name was.
Scaff Beasy.
Yeah.
They've known each other. It's a Queens thing. This also,
I didn't realize this was a Queens nigga.
This is also a tenet in my discussion today. How we need to just discuss Caribbean people from Queens.
No.
Oh.
You're not about to have the whole lot of persauds after me. No, I'm not doing it.
Well, I think it's mainly I should just say niggas from Queens in general, because it leads to like 50
is
in how.
Fair discussion.
Yeah. Okay. But I also. Anywho, so yes, Megan's Law. That was a major line. And she also goes. That's the only main thing she kind of says about Cocaine Bear. I'm not saying their name. That's how, Cocaine Bear is addressed in that one line. Now, the rest of the song, Megan decides to come at the menfolk who have said nothing but nasty things about her. Mainly...
who tried to lie and hide their hands and say that they weren't saying nasty things about her. And scars. BBL
Staples.
scars.
No etching. Real curves.
Bad bitch.
Yeah.
I hate that nigga.
Me too. Because last album, that Jimmy from Degrassi threw shots at Megan. She's the only person I'm really going to name in this thing. Saying that, he was on the Hobbit side that shot her in the foot.
Yeah, essentially. Then he tried to backtrack and backpedal and say that wasn't about her. But who the fuck else was it about?
No
who
one
else got shot in the feet, nigga?
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. He's such a corny ass nigga. He's such a corny ass nigga. Like, nothing will ever ring in my mind louder than Drake and looking like when they made him look like Boo from Monsters, Inc. I said, this is amazing. This is incredible work. Like, he is a goofy ass bitch.
Yeah.
And nothing is worse to me than a nigga who tries to act like he's on the side of women, but you are staunchly against women. Like, staunchly against them. Because you want to be us so bad.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, Megan calls him out on his culture vultureness.
She does.
You know? And we've said this for for years, right? Like, he have Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, and he think he from Houston, or then
London.
He'll feel like he from London, or when he was doing the Jamaican thing, because everything was ting for a little bit, you know what I mean? And it was, and I randomly, I'll never forget this. I think it was when the University of Kentucky won the championship in basketball, and he was like backstage. I'm like, what do you have to do with Kentucky?
Lest we also forget, back when he was still wheelchair Jimmy, he was sitting there talking about, they don't even use proper English. They say things like badminton. And it was like, and now you up here trying to look like the cover of a Solange album. Like, who are you? Who the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's the Dina Jones of rap.
He is. Or like the Vanessa Huxtable.
Oh,
he's the Vanessa Huxtable of rap.
Well, no, because people do like him, unfortunately.
People like Vanessa. One of the greatest episodes of The Cosby Show is when, you know, she went to go have big fun with the wretched. That's one of the most memorable ones.
It is.
Remember when she married that motherfucking janitor? Okay, anyway.
Dabness Bricky.
Dabness Bricky.
You know, I was randomly talking to my homeboy on Twitter about just things, and I was saying, like, I have randomly seen every episode of The Cosby Show, Good Times, and What's Happening.
Yes, as well as 227.
Because I was just thinking, like, there's not too many shows I've seen through its entirety, and I could confidently say I have seen those shows from
I don't know if I've ever seen every single episode of Amen. I might have, but I don't know if I have.
I can't confidently say that. Because I
can't either.
Because I remember they had, even with reruns, I can't say that. But I can say everything else.
I can say
and multiple episodes.
I can say Oh, you know what else I can say? Facts of Life. I've seen every episode of the Facts of Life.
There's a place you gotta go for learning all you ought to know about the facts of life. The facts of life. When your books are what you're there about, what looks are what you care about. The time is right to learn the facts of life. When the world...
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Like me with Golden Girls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Rock for some reason. And, well, I actually know exactly why I've seen every episode of Rock, because that was my grandmother.
Because it used to come on before Apollo?
Well, no, it's just my grandmother loved the show. And I think it's because she had a crush on the grandpa, and she wouldn't like tell nobody. But you could tell what older women be in like somebody on television, and they think they handsome, because that's who they just like. Ooh, I need to turn this on. And be like, grandma, like, why?
I wonder who we're gonna lust after as grandparents. Like, is it still gonna be like Method Man? And then all the young people are like, yeah.
If he aged like Billy D. Williams, abso-motherfucking-lutely.
You know what? You're right. And meanwhile, I was always looking at Billy D. Williams like, look at this skeevy ass nigga. But somebody's nana was getting juicy
Moist.
upon the panties.
But, yeah.
So she talks shit about all the people who support the little short bald-headed man. She talks shit about Drake. I'll say his name. She talks shit about Cocaine Bear Minaj. Cocaine Bear Minaj's esposo. Who else? Was that about it?
And her ex-nigga.
Bitch ass partisan Fontaine. A disappointment.
Yeah.
A disappointment.
Yeah.
Isn't this nigga from like New Rochelle or somewhere? Where is he from?
Hell, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
He is.
Anybody who just doubles down like that after being exposed, like you don't even have the humility to be like, you know what, I did fuck up.
You know what? It also don't help that his last name is Fontaine, and I'm sorry if your last name is Fontaine.
I'm not Terrence Fontaine. Fuck you. Fuck you forever, nigga. Fuck you and your long arms and your wife. Like,
just have you noticed everybody with the last name Fontaine is real mixy. Let's take a break real quick, and we'll talk what Cocaine Bear responded with and our complete thoughts on the matter. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And I'm gonna lead with this. You should have never married him. Because now you've ruined everything about what your brand could be. Again, you're never gonna stand a chance when you're with a man who pulls a knife at rape point. You know, and you're never gonna stand a molester, a registered sex offender who wasn't even, you're never going to stand a chance.
And we're back talking about drugs, or drug-induced stupors. I guess I don't fucking know. Here's the thing. So Cocaine Bear responded, calling this bitch Bigfoot, and she had this whole. It was a horrible response. It sounded bad. Her fans had to like remix it for her and do it. And the whole time she just calls her Bigfoot and refers to Megan's dead mother. And then she gives a weird TED talk at the end about how be careful about shit. Don't come with people's family. And if you deny anything I say in here, I'm going to expose you because, you know, she's not an adult.
No, she never will be.
No. She's low-key Joan Collins when she accepted the award on her from Joe Baker's behalf. Here's the thing. I wish Cocaine Bear understood that she was Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, regardless of how you feel, how people feel about them or not, they have made themselves to be quite the powerhouse in music and in pop culture. And also, on the strength of that, you have used that platform to make statements about uplifting Black women and supposed to be sex positive and these sorts of things. But then anytime somebody is doing slightly better or gets some sort of access and success, you revert to like MAGA ideals and thoughts. And, you know, I also think that she has a weird relationship with men in general because her daddy nasty, lest we forget. Her brother was convicted for being nasty, lest we forget. Her mama, she don't really fuck with her mama like that.
And she's a Sagittarius.
So like, you know, and she's also one of those people. And she's also one of those people that use the Bible when convenient. Like
what?
A lot of Caribbean women.
Wait, hold on. What are you even talking about?
Because there was a point in time where when it comes to like sexuality, and for example, during Pulse, when they were shooting gays in clubs, she did not say anything about it, knowing damn well most of her fan base is nothing but. But then she went around and tweeted, "Well, I believe what the Bible says."
Girl,
You know, she's very much
And
like,
they still be standing behind this lady. All of these high schoolers and these
and I
and these
can't, and
niggas.
we haven't even discussed what happened after because you haven't been on the internet because you're not on Twitter.
What happened?
So her fan base, it almost was very like insurrection. How like
Did they finally turn on her?
No, they did
Oh.
worse. They started doxing people. And if you don't know what doxing is finding personal information and posting it on the public information and then calling them, harassing them. Not only did they do that to just regular people on the internet, just like people who are talking and disagreeing and saying like Nikki's trash or cocaine is trash or whatever. They would go after so later that day, Megan was at Victoria Monet's Grammy birthday celebration thing. They decided to dox Victoria Monet because she was out with Megan.
Now,
So
I
they
don't know
posted
much about
Victoria
that young lady.
Monet's-
I don't know much about her. But something
sweet
tells me
gal.
to leave her the fuck alone.
Yeah, she's about it, you know.
Just
and,
leave her
and her
alone.
man will beat you up. Who I've seen in public, he's a fit influencer, and he is just as large on camera as he is in person. I'm like, ooh, you are fine, but I also don't want to.
Fair.
Yeah, because there's one thing where there's niggas who have muscles and there's niggas who have muscles and that can fight.
Yes, exactly, because there's a difference.
Because I feel like Victoria's also can fight, so that's just.
That's what I said. Something in my spirit tells me, like, just don't bother her. Like, she
Yeah.
will do what she needs to do if it needs to be done.
She got a baby. She minded her own business. But here come Cocaine Bear's fans, like trying to do something, and every time the Cocaine Bear will be like, "Barbs, you know what to do. This is what happens, right?" And so, little do they know. And this happened before, and this I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Kim Foster from For Harriet, she got doxxed before and was harassed by the stands before, and she had quite the lawsuit against certain people and won.
Good.
And now, there is these laws popping up in every state about doxing and how not only will you be fined, you will also be jailed.
Good.
And so there's like socialmediajustice.org, I think, where if you have been a victim of this, you can put in your information, somebody will contact you and you can make this thing happen. And so the people that were getting doxxed or the people that were doxing, there are so many lawsuits against these people now. And now if you go and look at these accounts, they're like, we're so sorry. They're backtracking, trying to say like, don't do this or whatever. And it's so interesting because it's like, these are grown people. I can't even say they're adults.
Are they? Because I thought her fan base was children.
They're adults just like her. Because, and also, I don't think they're black the way they say that they're black. You know what I mean? I think these are like weird international white kids who think it's fun to do this. I don't know what they do in whatever outlaw mud-show country you come from, but just know in motherfucking America, we sue bitches. So...
and other things.
Fight. Yeah.
I was like,
but my thing is,
don't.
and then what pissed me off the most, and this is to top it all off, because you weren't, again, they also found Megan's mother's grave, and they started to desecrate it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm upset. I'm upset.
Here's where I'm like, I get rat beef, right? That's why I fucked you, bitch, you fat motherfucker. I get all that, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But when you start doing things that are beyond the scope of entertainment, and we're crossing over into personal, spiritual, things that if you're so pro-biblical and stuff that you would, or Bible, that you would not even think to even bring up her deceased mother in general.
This is what I'm saying. You have to be a nasty caliber of demon to use somebody's dead parent against them. outside of, unless they are also nasty demons. But Megan is not a nasty demon.
No.
And that's never what that's not what I'm going to go to. Haha, that's why your mom is dead? Like, what the fuck? And you're 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many other things to be worried about.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be notifying your neighbors right now? And you are out here doing all of this? And what Barb's, do you know what to do? Like, who are you?
That's DJP behavior, or DJT, excuse me, Donald J. Trump behavior.
They need to put her down. It's time for her to be put down. Silver bullets. It's time.
It's Brenda behavior.
It's Brenda. Okay, so what stereotype do you think that she actually, you know what?
Jackal.
We already answered that. Hyena.
Yeah.
Cocaine bear.
Yeah, she is. And if she's not, she is a Pokemon of the psychic type.
My
She's
stereotype
ghastly.
is a Charmander.
Yeah, she is ghastly or coughing.
Oh, what a rotten, nasty, nasty piece of work that one is there. I'm ready for her downfall.
Yeah, I have to update my downfall list because
Yeah, it's. Let's do that right now. Where's my notes?
yeah, my notes. But I have to take somebody off because they made it, and now I'm about to say, "Damn it!" So now I have to.
No,
and I can't even.
Well,
downfall.
speaking of cocaine bears,
Michael Rappaport can still stay on there.
he could never. Michael Rappaport is a hard.
Oh, she was already on there.
Loud Zionist.
She was already on there. She's between Anthony Mackie and Teddy Campbell.
Anthony Mackie's on your downfall list?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I forget why. I think it's because he did our homegirl wrong, I feel like. And that's why he was on here when she worked at the restaurant.
No, that wasn't him. It was his restaurant, but he didn't have nothing to do with that.
But there has to be a reason why he's on here.
That's why
I wouldn't have put him down for no reason.
Maybe you have to remove him.
But see, the moment I remove him, that's so interesting. Above him was Vince McMahon, and that already happened. So I guess I could take that off because that already happened.
Take that off.
If you are unaware,
let me put Lil Boosie on mine.
If you're unaware, we could talk about this briefly because somebody asked me about my thoughts about this. But if you're unaware, in wrestling news, also your cousins were on one. They've been doing the work. They have been, because your cousin The Rock is now a chairman of TKO, or one of the chair members of TKO.
They should have never gave you niggas money, and I should have never told you that. As I wear this fucking black turtleneck today.
Yep, just you're in cause Lizzie.
Just a man! What The Rock is cooking!
But no, the former head of the WWE founder, Vince McMahon, is under some serious allegations. Again, he involved in a sex trafficking suit.
Is he part of the Epstein shit?
I wouldn't put it past him if he was, but the reports of Vince McMahon were there's this woman who he employed who he prostituted and did illicit sexual acts with in order for pay on payroll and things, and using corporate funds to pay for it, which is a no-no in a publicly traded company.
I know him.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows of Vince McMahon.
Oh, Lord. He had a Hitler mustache for a little period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. What a frightening creature.
Yeah. But yes, I believe everything that was in that doc, in that court documented. It is very graphic and in detail. I won't repeat anything that was there, but it's sexually violent in nature. I believe everything that happened in there, and I believe that he and the other executives should pay for their crimes. But this is also, I was talking to Jiminica about how people need to know when to fold them, and I mean people need to know when to die.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna be that evil and be that reckless and disgusting, you better make sure that you just immediately just die and just go straight to hell. You know what I mean? Like, just end it. Hell.
Yeah. I need to add. Let me put Vince McMahon on mine. Jared from Subway.
That too.
That nigga is, when I tell you, wretched.
Who's still on here? Kim Burrell, she can move up.
Kim Burrell can stay.
Yeah, she can still. Lori Loughlin is still here.
Was that Kim Burrell talking about, don't sing with me? The Lord's using me right now.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I laughed at the shit.
I know, I hollered, but I also was like, what a hateful witch.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of hateful shit is this, girl?
Oh my God. Okay, wait. So, speaking of, I don't know if I would call it, I think they tried to call it a documentary. I don't know if I would call it a documentary. Maybe by like exact definition. But I watched a program.
Okay.
Anything that is featured on Lifetime is, I don't know if I can consider that a documentary.
It's a program. Yeah, I'll go with
It's a program. But it was about Amish witches.
Because the Amish don't understand it, they call our work witchcraft.
Aren't you afraid of being shunned?
I am shunned. My gifts are strong. God works through me, and I'm willing to sacrifice for it.
Yep. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
And it's called, hold on, where's my phone? It's called...
Because the reason why I was so stumped, because I was like, is not that the same thing?
Let me see. Hold on.
Because if like you're electing to live with a lot of electricity, that gives me witch vibes.
Oh no. They're electing to, I think they have some lamps. But it was on Hulu. And it was called... Wait. No. Watched already. Okay, let me just
I could take him off this list. I don't hate him anymore. Logan Paul.
The Real Amish Witches. Oh, wait. Yeah. They call it a movie. Oh, wait. They call it a movie, but it's not. It was a 1 hour special is what it was.
Okay.
And so it was about the witches in the Amish community that because there's always light and dark within spiritual work. So the light side, like the light of them uses herbs and things, they're healing within their community, people who have elements that can't be explained by their doctors or whatever the case is. Like they come to them, but obviously it's very frowned upon. They're called the Brauhau. That's what they're called. Remember, they speak Pennsylvania Dutch. So they're called the Brauhau now. So they're like on the outskirts of the society. They're kind of like, banished a little bit, but they're still Amish. But so they interviewed 3 of them in the course of this program. One of them, so one comes from another part of the Midwest or whatever, and she comes to live in this particular community. In the Brauhau, they show them, they allow the production to come in while they perform one of their rituals on somebody as long as they didn't show the man's face. But in the course of them filming this program, they, like, some of them just stopped it in the middle because the girl that came from another part of the Midwest was her darkness was taking over her. And so when they were performing one of the rituals, you could see all of a sudden the lights start blowing out and production's cameras started falling and all kinds of shit, right? And production is clearly not a part of any of this. So they're like, they would say, they have a doctor on there, a psychologist who's trying to explain scientifically all of the things that are happening. But production was like, no, you don't understand. When we started filming this portion, our camera blew out. This light went out. So they end up like the girls, all of them individually, I don't want to film this anymore. Like they show it. You think it's never going to happen. Nothing's really come out about these Brauhau before. Everything that's always supposed to come out about them, something happens to the people. So they finally, this program, so the girls end up leaving the Amish community altogether. So they call them back and they're like, you know what? We can talk. And so all of them have since like left the community and they said their lives have gotten better and that, you know, the Brauhau was sucking energy out of them and so forth. But the one girl, the darkness, she left too, right? And she's like, I can feel myself getting lighter and blah, 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 blah. When they start asking her questions, her darkness started taking over and stuff started happening to their equipment again. And she's like, even though I left, I'm still trying to like relieve all of this from my system. It's called The Amish Witches. It's only like an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. And yes, for those who keep asking if we've watched Daughters of the Cult, I've watched Daughters of the Cult. I think XD should watch Daughters of the Cult, and we should talk about it.
I'll watch it on my travels over the weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's take one more break, and we'll talk about Brenda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay. Karen's been worried about you. She thinks you've got a problem because you spend so much time by yourself. I'm fine. That's what I told her. That's exactly what I said. Dad was kind of like that too. So...
Let's talk about Brenda.
We don't talk about Brenda, no.
So when I was editing, or I was listening actually to the show, and then Chris I had to tell him about the polyurethane, whatever the term we learned thing. So he was like, he was explaining how he was confused about like either you, because the binary part here is canine and feline. So
or no, the binary part
because Brenda, you said I identifies
Brenda specifically. Yes.
Brenda specifically. So, but also why these particular animals, right? Is it just because of these the ones that she is only?
One of the motherfuckers said they identified as a raccoon. So,
but it was also like, well, is it because of did you study them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you come to this? How do you come to this? And I guess this is a conversation that somebody could have with a human.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think anybody who listens to this show is gonna.
Well, in the sense of like, why this animal, right? Like, again, in the human experience, I can see why you would say, I feel like I was born a different way, and this is the experience that I would emulate.
In the human experience.
Right, because all of the human experience is emulation, right? We're being somebody else, regardless if we're operating in the binary or not. We're only emulating shit we know or have seen. Or can digest, right? Or under the fuck stand, because you get people, you get feminine, you get masculine, you get maybe neither. But I don't get what raccoons give. They're scavengers.
Chaos.
Like you know what I mean? Like there's no attach. How can you? What animalistic attachment do you have to these animals that you have tapped into to make you think that you're an animal?
I can't answer that. How is Samantha? There's nothing in me that could tell you why somebody identifies with an opossum or an Tasmanian devil or an emu. I don't know, because that shit don't make sense to me. And as you were saying last week, I was like, no, this is making me feel very MAGA. But I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it, and listen, I don't have all of this figured out, so this is just all based off of my thought. So take this as you will. But my issue with it, outside of the shits, the giggles, because nigga, I'm giggling. This shit is motherfucking crazy.
I'm giggling because I'm uncomfortable.
Also that, because I don't know what the fuck you about to do. And I you know, I know if a pit bull comes at me to punch it in the nose, what the fuck do I do with you? But on a serious note, hold on, get your heel ready on your hand and but kick it in the vagina. I don't know, but here's my issue on a serious note is stuff like this. Like, I don't understand it, and we could very well be wrong, and these people could have the spirit of a hippopotamus in them. I don't know. But I feel in a way like it kind of bastardizes what human people are actually fighting for and dealing with, as far as trans kids dealing with houselessness, with trans women getting killed at disgusting, alarming rates, and attacked at disgusting, alarming rates, and all of these different things. And I feel like with people dealing with real struggles from a hateful society, y'all want to come and identify as an eggplant or a fucking beaver or whatever. And it's just, I feel like it waters down and bastard not to somebody who understands
it's true.
But like these ignorant people out here who be looking for any reason to be hateful. Now y'all are at, like, what are you doing? And then everything gets all muddled.
Yeah, it's like when people joke about their pronouns and they'd be like, my pronouns are that bitch. And it's just like, no, there are people pronouns are a serious thing and they should be treated as such, right? Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be a caricature of the person, you know, like be called what you want to be called. And there's genuine political ramifications by
exactly to your real life human experience and livelihood and well-being on this earth
based on pronouns.
Based on pronouns
and how people choose to identify. So I do agree that it is bastardizing this fight, right? Like I don't mean to spoil, but like Dr. John Paul's on Getting Grown next week, and they talk about this idea of the fight that non-binary people have, this constant conversation of like reminding folks of who they are, and also in that it's also demanding respect too. And you're diminishing this idea of what people are fighting for is just respect because you want to sit
on the floor while we eat and drink out of a bowl. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. And there's nothing you can say to me that is going to convince me that it is the same, because it is not. You want to fight for somebody to, I don't know, wipe your butt for you because you think that you are a dog. But there is somebody over here actually fighting for their lives. I just can't. I can't.
Right. But yeah, it was just an interesting conversation that we were having, like because it also led me to think about how this would lead to people wanting rights, right? It would lead to a political debate. Why don't I have the same protections and rights as somebody who identifies as non-binary?
So
right?
you identify with a lion
Or-
and now you get to hunt people?
You
Like,
see what I mean?
get the fuck out of here.
There's a slippery slope when it comes to protections like that, and therefore bastardizing the human experience of those who are fighting for humans to live freely. You know?
Cause you went down to Claire's and purchased yourself a foxtail and some ears, and now all of a sudden you want to go LARP.
I'm Josie. Okay.
Right?
That's all I have for today.
Like, I identify with Toto. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Get.
I hate it.
I just
hate
can't.
it.
I can't. I literally can't. And
Yeah.
Brenda, when Brenda be visiting her other family members and stuff, she'd be dressed up like them animals, they said. But she says, she's like, no, I just have to tell my family, like, I love cats. That's why I'm always dressed like a cat. But her parents know. And like you asked last week, they fund it and shit.
Have you ever? There's this movie with Ryan Gosling. I can't remember the name, but he lives with the mental illness, and he experiences strong delusions.
No.
And he becomes in love with a mannequin.
What's it called?
Hold on. Let me Google it right now. Ryan Gosling mannequin movie.
Lars and the Real Girl?
Yes, Lars and the Real Girl. Yes. So Lars is I forget what diagnosis he has in the film. But they're like in a small town, and he ends up getting a girlfriend named I forget the girl's Bianca. So think of Bianca like Wilson was in Castaway. So like Bianca ends up becoming like real to him, and she doesn't come to life, and she's the doll the whole movie. But what ends up happening is that the psychologist realizes that, like, in order for Lars to get over this delusion, everybody needs to play into it. So people started treating Bianca as a real girl. Like, they would take Bianca out shopping. I remember he proposes to Bianca, I think, and they like get her new hair or whatever. And what ends up happening is, as soon as he realizes that other people are playing into this delusion, he creates this thing in her head that Bianca's sick. And then eventually Bianca dies in his head, and it says that Bianca is not a thing. And so it was a whole way of the town's way of them trying to reel him back in, because his delusion was so grand. And I'm wondering if this is the case. You know what I mean? It's a very. I'm describing the film very loosely.
No. I get what you're saying. The condition is called haphophobia or haphophobia or.
Yeah, because I had to watch it in when I was working in when I started mental health practitioning, and we had to watch it, and dealing with people's delusions and how you play into them, and how people will craft or delete the delusion based off of your response or how you engage with the stimuli. It's really interesting what happened to it. But maybe in this case, what would happen if they played into this idea of Brenda just actually being an animal, and maybe one day she'll be like, okay, I killed the cat, shit in me or whatever, and I'm human again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what would be the trigger, or what, if there is one, to just turn it off.
Me kicking you in your fucking asshole because you shit on my carpet.
It's time to go. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Negro History Month. Let's hope it lasts longer than a week.
I forgot already. I'm not even going to hold you.
Until next time, friends. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, we're moving on.